Y'all, I am so serious. So serious when I say y'all gotta get this man out of here. Y'all gotta get him out of here.
Don't control me. I ain't the only person holy worship me. Yeah, you can go. I ain't the only you so lonely.
Okay, so yet another allegation has come out, and when I say that this is especially heinous, all right, I really mean that. This time the allegation is that Diddy and his quote longtime lieutenant Harvey Pierre and another unidentified man R-worded a 17-year-old girl inside of his recording studio in Manhattan in 2003. And like I said, she was 17 years old, high school student. She was apparently in the 11th grade. And this happened when Diddy was 34. Big 34, 3 decades and some change, 34 years old. Okay. It was this big Rolling Stone article that covered the lawsuit. The link to that is in my bio. Like I said, she is the 4th woman to accuse him in 3 weeks. The new lawsuit alleges Jane Doe was with a friend at a lounge in the Detroit area 2 decades ago when Pierre singled her out, complimented her appearance, and insisted he was best friends with Diddy. Pierre purportedly told the teen that Diddy would love to meet her, called Diddy on his phone so the music mogul could personally invite her on an impromptu trip to New York aboard a private jet. The 14-page complaint alleges the private jet eventually transported the teen to New Jersey, where an SUV was waiting there, whisked her away to the studio with these men, Pierre and the third unidentified man, where Diddy was finishing up work with a recording artist. The filing obtained by Rolling Stone features multiple color photos allegedly taken inside Daddy's house. Yikes at that name. When I say yikes at that name, Daddy's house recording studio that night, including one where the teen is sitting on Combs' lap. I'm not gonna show that one here, but like you can see some of the photos here that was in the lawsuit. It says, unlike many victims who have come forward after decades, Miss Doe can prove that she not only met Combs on the night in question, but was in his studio in New York City with him on that night. Remember, when viewing these, Miss Doe was 17 years of age. So the Rolling Stone article goes on to say the filing claims that the teen was fed copious amounts of intoxicants as Combs, Pierre, and the third man hit on her incessantly, groped her up. And the article is pretty graphic, so like you get the idea, right? The article is pretty graphic with the description of it, so I'm not gonna go into that much detail, but the allegations are that he did what he did to her, right, while she was so inebriated that she was in and out of consciousness, and that Pierre and, you know, another unidentified man violently took turns doing the same thing that Diddy was doing, right? So again, the article is pretty graphic, so during this part, just be warned before you go looking for it and reading it and all that. So once she regained her bearings enough to walk with some assistance, she was taken back to the airport and flown back to Michigan. The lawsuit that also names Daddy's House Recordings, oh my god, Daddy's House Recordings and Bad Boy Entertainment as defendant. The Jane Doe has very limited recollection of the return flight and only remembers being in her car sometime early in the morning, it states. Now, speaking about Pierre, because it's like we have a whole lot, and rightfully we should be have a whole lot of focus on Diddy and what he was doing. But like I said before, Diddy would not be able to have done the amount of heinous things in the way that he did it and being so protected if there weren't people right by his side egging him on, doing his bidding, taking his coin in exchange for goddamn morals and soul, silencing victims, right? Like Diddy would not be able to accomplish all this shit in the way that he did, in the scale that he did. I'm sure there's tons and tons more stories waiting to come out, right? He would not have been able to do it in the protected way that he did if it were not for the network of people around his ass, just empowering him, covering for him, lying for him, silencing victims, like I said. So, and it's the same thing, right, with R. Kelly, and it's why it just really rubs me the wrong way sometimes. I mentioned this before, when you got all these people who were involved in the network of like victim silencing and scouting out new victims, like when you were involved in this network, I remember watching some of the R. Kelly documentaries and stuff. Like, you were involved in the network. Now you sitting up in a documentary talking about, oh, he did this, oh, he did that, and I had to do this and did. You were why are you sitting here in the chair? You need to be in the jail next to him. Why are you sitting here getting interviewed? We need to make sure that they come around the corner and get your ass too. Plop your ass right next to him. So Pierre, I guess the article is making it out like Pierre's his right-hand man or whatever. Pierre, who met Combs at Howard University before working for him at Bad Boy Records, was the subject of yet another lawsuit filed under the Adult Survivors Act on November 22nd. An unidentified executive assistant alleged that Pierre groomed, harassed, and sexually assaulted her on numerous occasions in 2016 and 2017. Pierre, of course, did not respond to a request for comment on the complaint. So this is the fourth accusation that we know of, right? You got your associates around here getting lawsuits, getting slapped with lawsuits as well. It's not looking good for your silly ass. And so to respond, here go Diddy response. To respond to all this, Diddy said, enough is enough. Girl, that's what we thinking too, Diddy. Damn, we thinking, how many more are we gonna have to, how many more this week are we gonna have to fucking go through? How many more? He said, enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I've sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. He said, let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. Well, guess what, Diddy? We're going to be sitting here and fighting for the victims. That's who we're going to be fighting for. We're going to be fighting to make sure that your ass doesn't have the ability, the power to do this kind of crazy, nasty, heinous, disgusting shit to anybody else ever again, girl. Like, we got to get your ass completely out of here. Somebody get him out my face. And it's just like, that's why y'all be defending these knickknacks who come out here abusing women. That's why y'all be on these misogynist side every time a crazy headline come out, because y'all doing the same thing. Y'all behind the scenes doing the same shit, you know? And so, like, of course abusers gonna stick together. Girl, we're gonna get all of you Tory Lanez, R. Kelly, P. Diddy, weirdo asses out of the... We gotta get y'all out of here. We gotta get y'all out of here. I wish we could get all y'all asses out of politics, out of our art, out of just everywhere. Just get y'all ass out of everything. Music, TV, get y'all ass out of here. Y'all making everything so hard. Art, music is supposed to be joy, fun, peace, you know, happiness, spreading creative energies around. Bitch, y'all make it so terrible. Y'all make that shit. Music industry, Hollywood, like I said, like politics is crazy. Y'all make this shit so disgusting. Well, we gonna get y'all out of here. We gonna get y'all out of here. What really turns my stomach is the fact that we all know this ain't gonna be the last case, right? Like, this ain't gonna be the last lawsuit that is gonna come out. This not gonna be the only underwhelming, flimsy, tired statement from Diddy that we gonna get. But on top of all that, there's probably even more kinds of twisted, sick shit out there that we haven't even seen yet coming out. Get his ass, when I say get his ass out of here, I mean that. Okay? On that note, we're going to keep up with this case. Thank y'all so much for watching, and make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.
Insecure, they don't control me. I ain't the only press it, hold it, worship me. Yeah, you can flow me. I ain't the only, you so lonely. Insecure, they don't control me. Control me, boy, you can't control me.